There have been countless incredible football ads throughout the history of time. Ads that have connected with us, that have influenced us, and more than anything have expressed our passion for the sport on screen. But out of so many masterful commercials, there's one that stands out to me as the greatest of all time.
José, ¿jugamos? Sí.
Well, it is hard to get up the mountain in professional football. It's even harder to stay there, but the view from the top is fantastic. At the peak of the Premiership again, Chelsea.
2006 was a memorable year, a year that saw the natural order of things restored. The teams with the most powerful squads won in Spain, Germany, and England, while Italy was involved in a scandal that would change their calcio forever. The Champions League instead was a bit nicer for the underdogs. Arsenal reached their only ever final after one of the most infamous failed penalties of all time, just to dramatically lose against Ronaldinho's Barcelona. Compared to the leagues, it was far more thrilling for neutrals. And after all, the club's competitions were just a prelude for the main dish, the World Cup, humanity's biggest event, and Germany was set to host one of the most memorable tournaments of all time.
And the winner is Deutschland.
And it was in that context that one of the best pieces of art ever was created. Adidas had a massive burden on their shoulders. Not only did their biggest rivals Nike have a lot of success with their Joga Bonito series and related ads, but Adidas also had the moral responsibility as a German company of correctly hyping up the football world for the upcoming World Cup in the fatherland. And they did it. The small agency selected for the task was called 180 Amsterdam. The chosen location was the Catalan capital of Barcelona, and the boys casted for the role of Jose and Pedro were two local boys, whose standout trait was their humor and chemistry.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Bien.
¿Cómo te llamas?
José. Anda, quita, tonto y aprende.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Pedro. 1, 2 y 3. No problem.
The theme was as concise as accurate, the impossible team.
1, 2 y 3. Cissé. Kaká. Zidane. Beckham. Defoe. Kahn. Lampard. Beckenbauer.
Beckenbauer.
Platini.
Personally, when looking at both of these teams side by side, I gotta go with Jose's team, man. I think that midfield is absolutely ridiculous with guys like Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Juan Román Riquelme, Schweinsteiger, Vieira. I think the midfield is just way too stacked if we're actually looking at this as an 11v11 situation. But regardless, both teams lined up for their 11-a-side game with Jose and his buddies somehow able to compete with them.
Venga, corre. Sorry. Aquí, pasa. Tú, al banquillo. Da, ven. Oye, tira.
The game goes on until one of the most eerie moments in football advertising history.
Se va viendo a Fo con Mertesacker que le puede Lampard. Gol, como en el 66. No se lo van a dar. Madre mía, lo que es la historia y sus regates. Michael, como en el 66, al revés. No, esta vez no le han dado.
Frank Lampard's wrongfully disallowed goal against Germany at the 2010 World Cup is foreshadowed by Frank Lampard once again shooting on a German goalkeeper, this time Oliver Kahn, hitting the crossbar and having the ball land on the goal line, stirring up the same debate of whether if it was a goal or not 4 years before the actual event happened. The game goes on until Jose's mom calls Jose back to the house for dinner.
José! ¿Qué? ¡A casa!
If you don't give my football back.
a feeling which many of us can find relatable when the hopes of continued action on the pitch rely upon the owner of the ball being used. We've all been through it. The advertisement had immeasurable success and became an instant advertising icon. It would win all the prizes related to its kind, but more importantly, it was etched into the memories of football fanatics all across the world. I remember this entire campaign as I was just 11 years old when it came out, and it was at the peak of my childlike love for the sport. I remember having the poster in my room for so many years, dreaming of one day picking and playing alongside my Dream 11. This ad's global reach, emotional impact, and sheer logistical feat are why I put it up as the greatest football ad of all time. Adidas proved that no matter how outlandish a dream might sound, it's through the prism of sports that we are reminded impossible is nothing. Now, do you agree that this is the greatest football ad of all time? Let me know in the comments down below.